Hello, my name is Bobby Perry. This is the 50th episode of BPerryFilms Podcast. I plan to share with you all the different processes of choosing the right camera for your needs. As a person who's always on the go and is always shooting a ton of content, whether it's short form video, long form video, product reviews, service reviews, podcasts, course materials, vlogs. I need something as a creator to fulfill all my needs. There's many cameras nowadays that have a ton of features, but it can be overwhelmed for many people. And the short answer is that there's no perfect brand, there's no perfect camera, but there's always a device for your needs, and that will fulfill the majority of your needs. Don't be afraid to do some workarounds to improve and enhance your content creator experience, and that's what it's all about. Same thing when you have a computer that has maybe a low amount of storage, you get an external hard drive. Maybe your webcam isn't as great quality, you get you a digital camera. Same idea. So I'm going to be walking you through the process of how I got to the camera that I decided to go through. And many people come to me for recommendations, and this is how I came to my decision on the type of camera that I wanted to test out. So, first, you have to ask yourself, do you want a camera that specializes in photo, video, or hybrid? So, a photo camera, basically good for photographers, you're good for thumbnails, maybe if you're someone who does photography, specialize in weddings, events, special occasions, get a camera that specializes in that. And then you go to video. Some people go to camcorders or cameras that just specialize in videos that maybe the photo quality isn't as great. But that's a compromise. Maybe you have your phone for photography, and maybe you just want a camera on your phone to record longer videos. You have to figure out, is that the best for your needs? You want to use two devices or one device? And then that comes to the final option, which is hybrid, the method that I chose, which offers both. With Sony, I had to think, I'm a podcaster. I know my videos last more than 30 minutes. And I know with Nikon, their cap on most of their cameras was 30 minutes. And just imagine you're going through the flow, you're having great dialogue with your guests, and all of a sudden your camera stops recording, but you don't realize it, but you just keep going and going and going. And you realize at the very end, after you're done recording, it stopped recording in the middle of your dialogue. So I didn't want to go through that. So I was like, okay, Sony was the best option. So let's go with that option. When I thought of figuring out the video quality for an hybrid, I had to think, what would be great for 4K, 7K, 8K, whatever resolution that would be, and can I format that down? How well is the LEDs, OLED screen, whatever screen that I need to do? Is a touch screen? Do I have to touch different buttons? Can I customize it? You have all these different functions that you need to figure out as a creator. Do you want to do more things on your device, or do you want to do more things once you get on Final Cut Pro, Adobe, LumaFusion that I was using at the time, Riverside, any of those platforms? Do you want to do all that stuff at the end, or do you want to do everything before? So for me, I'm more focused on getting the content out. I can finish everything at the end, but the quality has to be there throughout. For photography, I like doing my own images. I do have my own photographer, but I like having the option of doing my own photography, whether it's for a campaign, me launching a new website, launching a new course. I want everything to look seamless. And as a video creator, I want to make sure that everything comes out crisp and great quality. So, someone who specializes in photography, maybe you want something that has 24 megapixels, 48 megapixels, but just realize that the higher the megapixels, the bigger the files. And just let you know, if you're doing a lot of video, especially long form video, it's going to take up a lot of space. So what I like to do is to record into something like Riverside FM or Zoom to make the recordings a little bit smaller and keep the quality that I like. However, the drawback might be a little bit of the quality, but luckily for platforms like Riverside, you can record in 4K, unlike Zoom, which stops at 720 or 180. I believe it's 720, but don't quote me on that. But it's giving you that option. Some people like to record on their phones. I know for vlogging, a lot of vloggers, just let you know, you can't record with a digital camera everywhere. So you need to ask for permission. You might have to sign some documentation. You might have to follow the guidelines. You might not be able to solicitate at that certain venue or place that you're going to. You have to have permission. So just keep that in mind when it comes to lugging around your digital camera. So when it comes to photography, just think of megapixels, shutter speed, quality. When you're thinking of video, just think about time limit, video quality, and does it integrate with your device? Does it work on your Mac? Does it work on your PC? Does it work on your iPad? Does it work on your other tablets? You need to figure out what is compatible to save yourself some money. And also get an external hard drive. I recommend G Technology or Seagate. I'll put some links in the description box, some affiliate links of some gear that I recommend and that are worth your dollar. The goal is to get more storage and spend a lot less, but not sacrifice on quality. So just keep that in mind. For me, I think about quality. What is it made out of? Is it primarily out of plastic? Does it have metals? What type of gear is it? Like I said, is it touchscreen? And does it have a lot of buttons? What is the warranty? Because this can inflate your price. And also, you don't want to have to pay more when you already paid a lot. I recommend for people when you're first starting out, get something within the $400 to $600 range because you do get what you pay for. And when you get into getting into film, selling courses, the more that you're gonna have to go into getting like well, most cameras are HD, but getting into 4K, you don't need an 8K camera right now, but it just takes time. The reason why I picked Sony is because I've been with them for a long period of time and I have used Nikon before. And like I said, the biggest gripe was the time limitation, and also the quality is not as good as Sony, in my opinion. And then there's Canon that a lot of people use on YouTube, but I don't like the yellowish hue that it comes with. I can tell what type of camera that most people are using when I'm watching their videos. You have to figure out what camera works for you. For me, I'm a Sony user. I have done Nikon. They're very great. I shot my first documentary, 1921, the documentary that did of my grandmother who lived to be 100. I had shot that on a Nikon Coolpix camera. It was touchscreen. I believe it was the first touchscreen camera that they started out with. It had a record limit of 30 minutes, but I also used an iPhone as well to make sure I got different angles, different zoom in, zoom outs without dropping the quality. And as you can see, people have more access to more resources. Cameras can do a lot more. The quality is a lot better. The formatting is a lot better because they're listening to other people's suggestions. Sony also has a good warranty. They have great customer service and they have a long term effect. So I will recommend some of the Sony cameras that I recommend down below, whether it's entry, intermediate, and advanced. And if you haven't tried out Sony, I recommend them now. I'll probably write in my newsletter what type of Sony camera that I'm using and why I like it and some of the specs and features on that. I didn't want to go into full detail on that because I didn't want to persuade people to buy something that I have just because I have it, because it might not be best for your needs. But for me as a creator, I need something that will help me for long-term use. And for me, finding platforms like Riverside that I can plug in my camera, plug in my audio seamlessly. And let me tell you, when I'm on the go and I'm working on a film, I have my Rode wireless mics for interviews. I have them clipped on to a shirt. Same thing with my guests or someone that's interviewing me. Have it plugged into my camera and it works so seamlessly. The audio comes out so much better, so much clear, so much crisp. Let me tell you, Sony, reach out to me. I love your work and I want you to continue creating high quality cameras like these. The price points are very amazing, but please drop down the prices on lenses. And oh yeah, for all you people that do photography, lenses is the most expensive thing. Same thing with you video creators, but no one spends as much on lenses as photographers. Whether you're trying to get those close-ups, those long zoom lens, they can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And I get recommendations from BMH all the time, and they're always releasing cameras, lenses for 2,000, 5,000, and it'd be costing more than the 2 or 3,000 cameras. So just be conscious of how much that you're willing to spend. When you first start out, you just want to learn the functionality of how to use a camera, how to use photography. I recommend when you first start out, get a hybrid, unless if you want to specialize in just photography or video, but I like having an option of great quality. Many people who have seen my work on my website, photography has been done on a Sony camera. Most of my campaigns have been done on a Sony camera. Like I said, I have used Nikon in the past. It works fine, but me converting over to Sony has been a great experience, a great milestone, and I recommend it for everyone. So, my recommendation, go to the store, test it out, figure out, make a list. What are your wants? What are your needs? What type of content do you produce? Do you need it more for photography? Do you need it more for video? Or do you need a combination of both because you do them both equally or close to 40, 60? But if it's only 10% of the time you're picking either or, then just pick that camera that is more focused on just that. But that's my recommendation. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at BPerryFilms, YouTube, the BPerryFilms Experience, and on LinkedIn, Bobby L. Perry. So thank you.